Today on Florida's Sportsman Best Boat. If you're looking for a boat designed for serious inshore fishing with offshore capabilities, we'll be taking a look at the Sea Born LX24 XE, a bay boat with an overall length of 23 feet 9 inches, a beam of 8 feet 6 inches, and max horsepower rating of 300. Standout features on the Sea Born LX24 XE. A versatile bow design provides a raised surface for casting lines that's easily converted into a comfortable lounge area for relaxation. For anglers who enjoy sight fishing for tarpon and cobia along the beach or redfish and snook inshore, a second station is mandatory. Easy systems access is as simple as opening a hatch to access and maintain key components such as the bilge, live well pumps, and tanks. In search of a boat that easily converts from a family cruiser to an offshore fishing machine? If so, we'll be taking a look at the Cobia 240cc, a bay boat with an overall length of 23 feet 7 inches, a beam of 8 feet 10 inches, and max horsepower rating of 300. Standout features on the Cobia 240cc. When traveling with multiple guests, ample storage space provides plenty of space for gear and tackle, keeping the deck uncluttered and ready to fish. A large shade top molded into the console provides storage, lighting, and speakers without taking up deck space. A versatile cockpit layout easily converts from a spacious and functioning fishing area to a comfortable lounge area for cruising with the family. Do you require a boat designed for hardcore offshore fishing that can accommodate the whole family? If so, we'll be taking a look at the Blackwater 39 Sportfish, a center console with an overall length of 39 feet 11 inches. A beam of 11 feet 11 inches, and max horsepower rating of 1400. Standout features on the Blackwater 39 Sportfish. A large deck layout provides plenty of space for multiple anglers to fish without getting lines tangled, while creating massive storage space below for gear and fish. An oversized cabin with air conditioning, a convection oven, ample bed space, and easy control access makes extended trips a breeze. Multiple live wells, plumbed with high-powered pumps, will hold hundreds of baits and keep them healthy all day long. Join our hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles as they conduct walkthroughs and review key features, all to help you decide if this is the best boat for you.
Welcome to another episode of Florida Sportsman Best Boat. I'm Captain Rick Riles.
And I'm George Labonte, boating editor for Florida Sportsman Magazine.
Today we've got a Sea Born 24 LX, a Cobia 240cc, and a Blackwater 39 Sportfish. Let me tell you something, that little Sea Born LX, they've worked on that hull, but it just keeps getting better. It's got, if you will, a bay boat profile, but it's got a deep V running surface. It's a great hybrid.
All right, we're also going to look at the Cobia 240cc. Now, this is a hull design that's been proven for Cobia. They've really opened this boat up. They made it into a bigger 24, and the features they've been able to fit on it as a result of retooling this deck, and more importantly, retooling the console and the top, has really opened up the possibilities for this boat.
How about the Blackwater 39? You want to talk about an unlimited boat? To me, it's a shame to go out of this inlet and come back in the same day. You ought to run up to Bermuda or something. There's no place that boat can't go.
Okay, partner, we got a lot to get to. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back to have a look at these three great boats.
When we come back, hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles take a closer look at a boat designed for sight fishing wherever you desire, the Sea Born LX24 XE. This segment brought to you by Manta Racks. Take your boards.
Sometimes the best fishing lies in places that are difficult to access. Shallow water, no motor zones, motor restrictions, and rough water may stand between you and the best fishing. Manta Racks securely transports your paddle boards to these locations without damaging the boat or the SUP. Now, there's no place for fish to hide. Manta Racks. Go further.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman Best Boat. Join our hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles as they take a closer look at the Sea Born LX24 XE. Representing the 20 to 26 foot class in the center console category, the Sea Born LX24 XE has an overall length of 23 feet 9 inches, a beam of 8 feet 6 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 300. Designed for sight fishing anywhere from the grass flats to the beaches, she has a draft of 14 inches, a dead rise of 18 degrees, a dry weight of 2,600 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 107 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
George, this is 3 years we've been doing boats from Sea Born. I'm gonna tell you, from year one, the LX24 was my favorite hull. I like this edition.
You've got a little history. You've actually been on one of these boats before, but a little bit different version of it. Tell me about it.
Well, sometimes you walk away from what really works. Sea Born was smart enough not to do that. They took this LX24, they brought sight fishing into the equation, came up with the LX24 XE Extreme Edition, and put an upstairs station on it.
This thing's got a lot going on. Why don't we take a look at some of the features on it right now?
I don't know if you were having as much fun as it looked like, but let me tell you something. From another boat, watching you run this boat, A, it looked like you were having a ball, and B, I really like the way the bow of this boat ate the wave zone.
And it's definitely up for the ride through those rough inlets and up and down the beach when it's a little choppy for sure.
George, I had a fish's eye view of the steps as the boat was running. It really looked to me like it helped this boat scoot. It looked quick.
Yeah, it's definitely quick, and it's really a good perspective to see it from the outside and see how the hull is supposed to look sitting on top of the water and getting back on the step. Say it's 2 to 3 foot seas, you need a place to stand inside the boat, and there's plenty of room for it here. You've got a place to stand up there if you're fishing in the inside, but there's going to be days where you want to take a ride, and they've got nice wide bench seats up here with a nice kind of back bend on there that's very comfortable, removable backrest right here. More importantly, when you go back to the fishing boat, you've got 2 insulated boxes up here. You've also got another box right here, Rick, where you can put a cast net or a couple of cast nets, store those. It also allows you access to your freshwater tank.
Having a live well right here is ideal for the guy that's fishing in the front. He doesn't have to go to the back and get bait every time.
You got that right, and there's one right there. Perfect. Why don't we move to the middle of the boat, Rick, and talk a little bit about how this tower is going to help you out fishing. All right, let's talk a little bit about why this tower is going to be useful to you fishing, Rick. It's quick to get up here. I mean, they've got some grip deck stuff here, sea deck, and you can climb up there in just a second, be sitting up there. It's very comfortable, especially if you're running offshore. There's that back band that really hugs you, fits in there. I mean, you're very stable and secure while you're running up there. You can sit on it, and it's very comfortable as well. I think every tower boat's got to have them. They put the forward shotgun rods there for you to have a couple of jig rods handy. Right there at the ready, you can pull one out and make a cast.
You hop down, you close that door.
Yep.
They've got a door right there, and you've got a standard T-top boat.
That's right, you know, and they went with extra heavy tubing here, and this is attached to a really nice sized console. But more importantly, this console is large enough where you can store a bunch of stuff in it. Not only that, it's big enough, they've got a flush head in there as well. You know, it might be a little tight on space if you're trying to fit a bunch of stuff in there, but they left plenty of room to run from right here, and comfortably, with the little foot brace right there as well. Nice head up, they got the Go 9 on there, I mean, for your display.
Classic rocket launcher, but with great seating to it.
Yep, flip down seat, want to sit, want to lean, either way. Of course, rod holders all over the place in the back, and they got the Engel cooler underneath there for a drink box. Why don't we take a look at this little fishing space back here? There's a couple of cool things going on here as well.
Let me tell you, my favorite seating configuration. I want to be in the back and I want to be in the middle, okay?
You've got a 30-gallon live well in the corner right there with another LED light inside of it, I might point out there. You've got another box here that's an insulated box, could be a fish box, but if you want to plumb that as another live well, that'd make a third live well. But the most impressive thing about this back right here is access to your bilge. There's a very cool system right here to flip this hatch up, and then the front panel on this bulkhead comes right out of there, and it is wide open access to the top of your fuel tank, all your pumps, fuel filters, everything. So easy to work on, a really, really cool feature.
I am really glad to see that pass-through door. I tell you, about my 5th or 6th grandchild, I realized I was never going to be able to keep them all in the boat all day. Somebody's jumping overboard. That's an easy way to get them in and out.
Listen, from front to back, there's a lot of things to like about this boat. If you're a coastal fisherman and love sight fishing, love to do a little bit of inshore and offshore, the Sea Born LX24 XE is definitely a boat to have a look at.
When we return, hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles step aboard a versatile center console that combines family fun and fishability, the Cobia 240cc.
This segment brought to you by Infinity by Harman. It's all about the music.
Hey Dad, can we do that again tomorrow? Don't forget your sunscreen.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman Best Boat. Join our hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles as they discuss an easy way to bring your paddleboards on board your boat for shallow water fishing adventures in this week's seminar series.
All right, there's something wrong with this picture. Now, I know your boat will run in shallow water, but we seem to have come to the end of the road here.
George, we're not even knee deep on me here. I mean, this is some skinny water, but we got a weapon between us, don't we?
Exactly. You know, it brings to mind something. I've been trying to think of how different ways that we can deploy this manta rack system in our lives here. Not for people getting towed around on paddle boards and knee boards and skis, but a fishing kind of application. Here's a perfect example of it. You go in a place that you want to fish super shallow and super stealthy, you're going to need a paddleboard or a kayak to do it. Now, what better way to transport your paddleboard or kayak into shallow water to get you back to those distant, hidden fishing holes?
Well, that's the big problem with carrying it in a big boat. You've got to have a boat big enough for it to lay in the cockpit. A lot of times you don't have that. And that's where something like this really shines, because it's not actually in your boat, it's attached to your boat.
Exactly, it's taking up no extra room inside the cockpit. It's easy to put in and out. In fact, it goes into rod holders on the boat. If you're not going to use it for the day, it comes right out, goes into the garage with the boards, it's out of your life.
If you're going shallow water fishing, I'm guessing you're going to put your manta racks in and carry something with you that'll get you good and skinny.
Now, let's check out the Cobia 240cc. Representing the 20 to 26 foot class in the center console category, the Cobia 240cc has an overall length of 23 feet 7 inches, a beam of 8 feet 10 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 300. Built with both fishing features and family comfort in mind, she has a draft of 17 inches, a dead rise of 21.5 degrees, a dry weight of 3,500 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 125 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
Buddy, you and I have been around boats for a long time. We've seen lots of changes in boating, you know, and since we've been doing Best Boat together, we've gotten to look at a lot of boats. This setup of forward lounging, fishing in the back, family kind of fishing boat has become very popular. Now, Cobia has answered that problem with the 240.
Make the boat plenty fishable. Don't give up the bigger boat features. Let's look at some of the ideas they came up with. The days of leaving the family behind are over.
You're exactly right, buddy. Listen, if you took a ride on the Intracoastal or along the beach right now, you're gonna see this layout in a boat all over the place. And the common thing is, you know, either the kids will be up in the front or all the girls will be in the front and all the guys will be in the back. I mean, we've split this boat up into 2 separate areas. The center panel is removable. You take these cushions out. If you're gonna go fishing offshore, take the cushions out, remove that center panel. You've got access to the bow if you want to fish around the bow. When you're lounging around on the boat, what do we got? We've got cup holders, we've got built-in speaker pods here if you're listening to the music. Look at the quality of the hardware on here. I mean, you got pop-up stainless cleats, pop-up nav lights, the grab rail. I mean, it's really kind of clean looking quality material. You know, obviously they're always going to use that space underneath the seats. We've got storage on both sides under the seats and a really large storage box in the center deck. You've got a seat here with an insulated drink box underneath it and this forward opening console door.
Part of putting a big boat into a small boat package was making this cooler in the door to where you've got the best of both worlds.
It doesn't stop there, Rick. Actually, the design of this entire top really ties together with that. Let's take a look at this console from back here. Okay, you've got a problem. You want to put 28-foot space inside a 24-foot boat. How do you do it?
That was the mission with this boat. I'm telling you, the first thing you do is you eliminate any wasted real estate. If you ran this tubing like most T-tops do down to the deck, wasted real estate, okay? It's gone. It's sunk into the console to where you've got full access all the way around.
You know, by utilizing this design here, what they really did, they needed to make a bigger console. This console with the forward entry here is big enough. There's 6 feet of headroom in there. You've got a freshwater shower and an electric head inside. You needed that space, but you didn't need the space to eat into the entire fishing area in the boat. You've got a helm face that's big enough for a 16-inch display. And this top, I mean, this thing accommodates a really good sized shade top. We've got storage in the forward and aft right here. Put stuff away. You've got lights built in, LED courtesy lights. You know, the speakers, I mean, the whole thing, it's all fit in there and it's really smooth looking.
Having glove boxes here lets you keep the important stuff within arm's reach all the time.
LeBrock seating, this is an option. These things are so comfortable, very cool. You know what, we fit a really cool little helm station in this space too. The batteries for this boat are located in the front. You can open up this hatch and pull your batteries out. They're at deck height. They're right here. And we work some storage into the back of this. Actually, let's move into the cockpit. Take a look back here. Now this helm center, even though we've got room to put the batteries underneath there, we've still got plenty of space for 4 tackle trays there and 2 drawers to store your gear here. I mean, and it's really fits into a nice little area.
Yeah, you're not giving up any real estate. We still got plenty of cockpit room back here to fish. One of the keys to this boat is the maximum use of space.
Talk about using your space here. You've got 232 quart fish boxes insulated in the deck here. They've got pump outs with a macerator too, which is smart. We've also got a 28-gallon live well right here in the transom with that clear lid so you can keep an eye on your baits, watch how well the baits are holding up there, and you know, plenty of fishing space. If you want to move the party back here, you've got a flip down seat with this removable backrest which comes out. That turns into 2 rod holders if you're fishing and you don't need this.
The beauty of that is, you're right, they can be rod holders. That seat does not take up 1 square inch of real estate. You still got a full cockpit, but you're ready for your family when they want to go with you.
For a 24-foot boat, you can actually have this boat with 2 motors or a single. Now you're standing there in that walk-through transom door. You can get out on the back there. They've got a hideable ladder that flips down in there. Kids are always going to want to jump in the water. Easy to get in and out of the boat from right there, and a nice little fantail to sit on too if you're at the sandbar or just chilling out. Big boat features is what this boat's all about. Cobia has managed to take all the features that you like in a 28 or 30-foot boat and squeeze it down into this 24-foot package. Hey, this Cobia 240, for the guy looking for that in a boat, this is one you definitely want to have a look at.
When we come back, hosts George Labonte and Rick Riles check out a boat designed for the hardcore offshore angler, the Blackwater 39 Sportfish. This segment brought to you by Yamaha. Reliability starts here.
An entirely new species of extreme predator is moving offshore. The Yamaha 5.6-liter V8 XTO offshore outboard. Extreme big block thrust and power in the industry's first direct injection 4-stroke. Quiet, efficient, powerful, and proven Yamaha reliability. More than an outboard, it's a fully integrated power system. The all-new Yamaha V8 XTO offshore.
Welcome back to Florida Sportsman Best Boat. Join our hosts Rick Riles and George Labonte as they check out the Blackwater 39 Sportfish. Representing the 31 to 53-foot class in the center console category, the Blackwater 39 Sportfish has an overall length of 39 feet 11 inches, a beam of 11 feet 11 inches, and a max horsepower rating of 1,400. Designed for a fast and dry ride, she has a draft of 36 inches, a dead rise of 24 degrees, a dry weight of 17,000 pounds, and a fuel capacity of 600 gallons. Now, let's hear more from our hosts, George Labonte and Rick Riles.
Buddy, we're standing here in the shadow of a boat that I first saw at the Fort Lauderdale Boat Show last year, and I haven't stopped thinking about it ever since. Meet the Blackwater 39 Sportfish. What a beast.
This is tomorrow's Sportfish boat. This is going to be the top of the line.
You know, there's a segment of the population, South Florida especially, that really likes trimmed out boats to ride around in, and they like to go fishing on them. This boat has got all that trim, and it's finished beautifully, but at the same time, it's a straight up fishing boat, 100%. I mean, that trim does not interfere with the fishability on this boat in one way. Hey, we should take a look at this boat. I'm gonna call for the helicopter to lift us back into the thing. Why don't we go up on board and have a look?
Let me tell you, nothing to me speaks fishing boat more than plenty of real estate up in the bow.
Yeah, you're exactly right. This is a ballroom right here. Plenty of room to move around.
Oh, there's plenty of room to move around, and you can fish 3 or 4 people up here.
There's a giant fish box in the deck here. Actually, all the boxes under the decks here are all insulated, but there's a gigantic box that both of us could fit in the center deck right here too. You know, this has got everything that a serious tournament type of fishing guy would want as far as room to work up here, plus the features like the rod holders and the, you know, power points for your kite reels and all that, but just in a really beautifully finished out package. Cruising around on a boat like this, I mean, this is just the most plush looking double chase lounge, and actually Lori, our production assistant, loves this seat, and she pointed out to me, I love the cup holders in the middle. She'd never seen that before and thought that was a great feature.
I think they even stepped their game up from here on back.
They're not sacrificing functionality for style. This is a very sexy looking top, but it's really, really functional too. Why don't we move to the center of the boat and have a look at the console and what's inside.
George, you know, when we walked by that console, something struck me. This boat fits. Does that make sense?
Sure.
The console's big. but the tower legs are so impressive they don't ever hit the deck, so you don't lose any real estate.
Incidentally, down below, let's talk about that a little bit for a second. You've got a cabin downstairs in there, and I cannot put the palms of my hands on the headliner there. That's a lot of headroom down inside there.
That's not a cuddy cabin, George. These bigger boats like this are not cuddies anymore. That's a full-fledged cabin like you and I are used to from a sport fishing boat.
You know, from a functionality standpoint too, Rick, I'm a big fan of the three-sided glass enclosure. I mean, this works really well. 3 people can easily hide behind this 3-sided enclosure right here, and there's great visibility through it as well. Great big helm face right here, but 2 big MFDs right here, all your instrumentation there, and everything is really smartly laid out. This theme continues here, the comfortable seating and this giant helm station here. This is the brains and the nerve center of the actual fishing operation that's going on in the boat back here. Let's have a look at it. Buddy boy, join me in the part of the boat where I have the most fun. This is a full, big inboard Sportfish size cockpit. You've got 3 live wells on this boat. You've got a giant 90-gallon well in the deck right here. And if that wasn't enough, you've got 2 70-gallon wells in the corners of the transom here. There's no situation where you're not going to have enough live well on this boat.
They've got what's called a sea chest down there with 6 pumps in it. Explain why that's important.
You've got 2 pumps for each live well. 6 3,500-gallon pumps to pump that. You need a lot of water. It's inside that sea chest.
Man, you can carry bait for multi-days in there without a doubt.
And more importantly, it's uninterrupted flow. You're always throwing water at your baits, even when you're going 70 miles an hour. Here's a fold-down bench seat that you don't even really know is there when it's in the up position like this.
You just caught me completely by surprise. I didn't even know it was here.
You know, in closing, Rick, I want to say something about this boat. I'm the boating editor at Florida Sportsman magazine. You think I'd have heard of Blackwater boats before? Last fall at the Lauderdale show was the first time I ever saw one of these boats, and it was actually the most impressive boat to me at the show last year. And after spending some time on this boat and all the boats that they're putting out, you know, this might be the nicest boat you've never heard of, but I guarantee you that it's not going to stay that way for long. This company is going to be somebody that's going to make a mark in the industry for sure. Hey, if you want any more information about the boats you've seen this week or any boats you see on Best Boat, go to floridasportsman.com.
Or we'll see you on next week's episode of Florida Sportsman Best Boat.
When filming for Florida Sportsman Best Boat, the cast and crew docked and dined at Pirates Cove Marina in Stuart, Florida. Family owned and operated, featuring 50 renovated rooms with an outstanding restaurant and a full-service 50-slip marina.